the lawyer representing the killers of Ahmaud Arbery, the lawyer, said he did not want to see any more black pastors in that courtroom. Like he's the damn judge or something, right? Here's the video.
Serially bringing these people in to sit with the victim's family one after another. Obviously, there's only so many pastors they can have. And if their pastor's Al Sharpton right now, that's fine, but then that's it. We don't want any more black pastors coming in here, or other Jesse Jackson, whoever was in here earlier this week, sitting with the victim's family, trying to influence a jury in this case.
Okay, let me get this right. First of all, there's a limitation on how many pastors, I'm sorry, black pastors, black families can have, but no limits on guns. So somehow, somewhere, there's a limit on black pastors, but there's no limit on guns, all right? Number one. Number two, Jesse Jackson was not even there. Jesse Jackson is recovering and has been ill. He is not there, but he thought he saw Jesse Jackson. Now, this attorney who has been front and center before because he decided to strike 11 out of the 12 black jury members in the final stage of jury selection. The judge at that time even noted that it seemed discriminatory, that yes, what he is doing seems racist, but then the judge cited some BS statute about the attorney providing statutory reasons to strike those members of the jury. Let's put up a picture of the killers. Want to remind everyone of who the killers are. Father-son duo, the McMichaels, and the guy recording the whole thing for kicks, his name is Brian. All right, they have all been indicted and they are at trial. During Thursday's proceedings, an attorney representing Gregory McMichael, Travis McMichael, and William Bryan stood up and said he did not want to see so many black pastors appearing at the trial to support Arbery's family. It's interesting. He said black pastors, right? To insinuate, I guess, that white pastors would have been just fine. But here's the reality. Where are the white pastors? Why are they not there? I mean, if you believe in a value system and a human life was murdered, why would you not be in support of this American family? White pastors should be there. I had a conversation today with Jamal Bryant on my radio show. He's one of the mega preachers in Atlanta. They had a conference call today at 11 a.m. I'm talking about him and a bunch of other preachers. Well, I got word via text that planes, trains, buses, and carpools are headed to Glenn County, Georgia, the place of the trial. Next week, you're gonna have hundreds, maybe thousands of pastors come there next week. Way to go, attorney. Okay, the judge, his name is Timothy Walmsley. He said he's not having any of it. He said, I can tell you this, I'm not going to start blanketly excluding members of the public from this courtroom, he told the attorney. And remember in the argument, the motion argument of the attorney, he said, hey, Al Sharpton was here, I didn't know he was here. So-and-so was here, I didn't know he was here. You're making the argument against your own argument because obviously they are not distractions. That's why you did not know they were in the courtroom. Okay, really interesting, very fascinating stuff. Ben, what are your thoughts here, man?
I think he makes his prejudice quite apparent in these statements. He literally, that's the greatest point you just made about saying he didn't even know he was there. Just the subsequent knowledge of black leadership being in a room. He thinks prejudice is a jury. Wait a minute, but they're gonna maybe realize that black people are people with their own thoughts and communities and feelings and people that care when they're brutally and pointlessly murdered. We can't have that in the courtroom, right, Judge? How is this an argument you can make with a straight face in modern America? I guess that tells you a lot about modern America.
That's right. Yeah, and he really made this argument after striking virtually all the black jury members. He then wants something outside of the jury. He wants to limit how many black ministers can actually sit with the family. The family gets to make that call, not this defense attorney. Let me take, go ahead, Ben.
I was just gonna say, this is exactly why when I travel to Georgia to do comedy, I stay in Atlanta.
Yeah, no matter what.
A little bit out, and it's just not the most friendly vibes. It's just insane that you can directly say this and prejudice an entire case with a legal team that is not even hiding it. They're not even being clever. At least when you're getting rid of black jurors pre-trial, that's not seen. It's reported on, but it's not seen. And you can at least hide your racism a little bit more during a trial now, saying, wait a minute, we don't want to allow people supporting the egregious, horrible act, trying to make clear how this happened. We don't want that. Well, it's just too plain as day, and it really shows their cards.
Yeah, well said, very well said.